Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It's Lee Henson, President and Founder of AgileDad, and it's time for today's episode of the Daily Stand-Up, the Agile, Not So Agile episode. And without any further ado, let's get started. I know many of you listen on Fridays for the inspirational stories and for the uplifting piece of this, and I didn't want to fail you. I wanted to come up with another one for today, and I really appreciate the number of people who reached out to me and who've expressed that this has personally helped them. And it really does make a big difference to me when even one of you reaches out and leaves a comment on LinkedIn or a comment sent to my email, just reminding me that that this serves purpose and that you are listening and that there are people out there who are really engaged and enjoying this content. Today, I wanted to share a story, one that's near and dear to my heart. It's a story about a young girl and a young boy. So a young girl and a young boy were enjoying a pleasant afternoon playing outside in their neighborhood. And the boy showed the girl that he had a beautiful collection of really unique marbles. They were really pretty, different types. Now, I can relate to this because when I was in grammar school, I had a collection of marbles. And we would always play each other for, keepers. And it was just really, really cool to see this collection of marbles. In turn, the girl showed the boy that she had a handful of candy that she'd just gotten for her birthday. So it was just this really cool candy. She had just gotten a handful of it for her birthday. It was one of her presents. And the boy proposed. He says, I have an idea. He says, how about we trade? He says, I'll give you all my marbles if you give me all your candy. The girl sat and thought about it for a minute, and she thought the marbles were beautiful and that the marbles would last forever. So she says, you know what? I'll make that trade, knowing that the boy would at some point eat the candy and the candy would be gone. So she agreed, and she made a trade. The boy handed over all of his marbles, but he kept one in his pocket, the one that he thought was the most exquisite and beautiful of all. He made sure he kept that one in his pocket. He just couldn't bear parting with it, right? But the girl kept her promise and gave the boy every piece of her candy. Now, fast forward. That night, the girl was incredibly happy, excited, showing our family the marbles that she traded for. She peacefully went to sleep, and she felt so lucky to have something so precious that she would be able to keep forever. The boy, on the other hand, couldn't sleep. He was completely restless. He stayed up most of the night wondering, did she secretly keep some of the best candy for herself like I did with my marble? How many times are we in a position where we're not giving 100%? So I'm challenging you. In this scenario, do you give 100% to your relationships? Do you give 100% to everything that you do? Or do you walk through life assuming that I'm only going to give 90% because my significant other, my partner, my husband, my wife isn't giving 100% either? Are you living in a world where honesty helps you build your character and who you are? How about at work? I've had several times where I've had people approach me and try to connive me into deals or whatnot. And I've said to myself, I don't know how that person sleeps at night. I don't know if you ever caught yourself saying that. But I don't ever want to be that person that feels that way. And I remember some specific engagements, one specifically with Richard Branson, where he gave money to a poor person, a homeless person in New York. And someone approached him and said, you shouldn't do that because then everybody's going to come up to you and expect things. And his comment was he'd rather be on the winning side of the battle, and they argued that this person probably isn't homeless or doesn't need the money or whatever the case may be. And he said, I'd rather be on the winning side of that battle where I know that I did the right thing by giving them something if they were in need and have them have to account for it later than for me to have to account for not giving 100% of what I could when someone was in need. And I think what I'm trying to say is in life, we don't always give 100%, whether it's 100% of our effort at work, 100% of our love to our family, 100% of the gifts and talents that we have to others and try to share what we have with others, to try to help uplift and grow others. Sometimes we don't do 100% of what we could. And sometimes we say, well, 90% is plenty. But how do you sleep with yourself? How do you sleep at night knowing how do you know, knowing that you didn't give 100%, knowing that you left 10% on the table? How can you sleep at night? How can you live knowing that there was so much more you could have done? So my challenge for you is for the next week to give 100% for everything you do, to really try hard to work your best, try hard to uplift others, try hard to show love and appreciation for your friends, for your family, for your colleagues, for people who you don't know. Find ways to uplift them, enlighten them. Find ways to share your talents, your gifts, the things that you've been blessed with them. Because what I can assure you is when you do, that what you're going to find is that those things come back to you tenfold. So make sure when you're building relationships that you're building them on trust. Make sure that you understand that by being honest in your relationships, you're holding everyone else accountable to do the same for you. It allows you to continuously think about your choices and how you can help or hurt others in any working relationship. And my hope is that you'll take this to heart and that you'll uplift someone and help them have a better day and a better week. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I hope this touched your heart. And until next week, I encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until Monday, do take care.